everyone. Welcome to the Bet Free Life. I'm Christina, and I haven't placed a bet since March of 2021.
And I'm Brian. I have not placed a bet since July of 2014. Hi, Christina.
Hey, Brian, it's been a minute.
It's been several minutes, days, weeks, months even since we have put up a new episode, and it's something that I'm sure has bothered you as much as it's bothered me. But unfortunately, life got in the way, and we couldn't do this. I'm not, well, you could do it. I was very much like, I don't feel like doing it right now. I wasn't in a dark hole. I was very much in I just don't feel like it. I was sort of abandoning talking about gambling addiction, both on my podcast and on this. But the good news is that we're doing one now. And I have two other episodes that we did previously that I will also be putting up.
But, I just want to say, sometimes whether it's in our podcast or on this, it's healthy to take a break from it for us, especially as involved as we are in the community of recovery. I think it's healthy sometimes for us to step away and take a break and kind of re-energize and get back at it, because the subject of gambling addiction can be really heavy at times. And I know I don't know if we can say this, but you work with it in your daytime hours as well. And then we both answer emails and messages and things like that in our off hours. I mean, it's definitely an unpaid second job to do what we do, but I couldn't be more privileged to be able to do it.
Yeah, not to be like, oh, woe is us, but like we do this Bet Free Life in our respective podcasts, the Broke Girl Society and All in the Addicted Gamblers podcast, because we were both affected by gambling addiction in a negative way. We both had it. We both are in recovery from it, and we like to help people and let them know that there are resources out there. And that's why we do this. We like to talk about it because I'm sure you feel the same way, but talking about it helps us not do it, not gamble. So I very much appreciate the opportunity to like put up a video on YouTube and talk about gambling addiction, and that we get nice messages from people about it. And I always feel bad when we don't do it. Like for weeks, I'm like, oh God. Like Christine and I would message each other and be like, oh, are we doing it tonight? Yeah, something came up, can't do it. And then we feel bad when we don't do it, but we really enjoy doing it. So hopefully you will just bear with us for the moment while we are sort of intermittently doing it, and then we will get back into a regular schedule.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going live. So let's just fill everybody in. What have you been up to?
So I feel like I've been in the dark for 3.5, 4 months now. Recently put up a few episodes of the podcast, an old episode that I had done. But I just got to a point, I wasn't in a dark place. I was in a good place. Like I felt good. But like you said, I have a day job. You have a day job. I have 2 kids. I'm married. So it just, got to participate in other people's lives, not just my own. So that's what I've been up to. You and I saw each other recently at the National Council on Problem Gambling's annual conference. We got to see each other in person. We got to sit at the same table. People would walk by and like, what do you guys do? We're like, we do podcasts about gambling addiction. And they're like, that's really interesting. And we would talk to them and they'd be like, oh, we'll give this out as a resource. And that's all we want people to do is give it out as a resource. So people know that there are people out there talking about gambling addiction and that they can not feel alone. I think that's the most helpful thing, is not feeling alone. Like there are other people with this same addiction.
And also, we've talked about this before, but the importance of podcasts in these is that it gives people the opportunity to kind of explore what is going on with them as far as the addiction or problem, and also, explore ways to overcome things that can help. And it gives them the opportunity to do it in the safety of their own space, whether it's in the car, whether it's on a walk, whether it's at home after the kids are in bed. Like it's the availability to be able to connect in a different way, maybe not necessarily face to face, but just be able to connect with other people's stories and really learn more about what's going on with you through the voices of others is pretty impactful. At least it was for me in the beginning.
I think people would be interested to know that you and I presented at this conference, and we presented on podcasting is revolutionizing recovery. And I think we both feel that way. I mean, you can speak to it but I feel that way because of the messages and the emails we get of like people are out there struggling and they want to hear more about recovery and what it's like to go to a meeting or go to therapy or whatever. So I'm I'm just grateful that we get this opportunity to talk about it. And our presentation went really well. It was well received. And I'm just excited where we're headed. I wish we could have more I wish we could hire somebody to do graphics and exciting things with the YouTube to make it seem more interesting than you just two talking heads being like, oh, I was addicted to gambling. Yeah, me too. Let's talk about it. But you know, it's really nice to be able to do this and to do it with you. It's been a blast. It's weird saying a blast. Like I don't I feel like I should get excited about the fact that we're talking about gambling addiction. But I am excited that we're talking about gambling addiction, especially because it's in the news so much lately. I am a Googler of gambling. I will Google gambling addiction and then click on news and see what's going on. And there's new stuff every day. And it's exhausting.
Hey, you want to hear of an article that I came across? Well, it was somebody sent it to me in LinkedIn, and
Yeah.
listen to this, the name of this article. It was teaching women poker could narrow the boardroom gender gap. And like, yeah, and let me see.
Jesus Christ.
Right. And it was like the whole point. And I kind of like, if I have to be really fair to this person who's doing this, I think her perspective was skill and strategy, right? Like how to get women on the same playing field as men in the boardroom and in corporate America. So like, if I'm trying to look at this from a biased, no, that's not right, because I am extremely biased. But just to give her something for it, it's like I kind of get. But this is a quote from the article, and it has nothing to do with, the gambling and the transacting in real money, because we don't do any of that at Poker Power. And it's like, so she thinks it's okay because they're not using actual money. And it's like, she has no understanding that it's the reward center, right? It's not always about the money. For a lot of us, it isn't about the money.
Money's just a way to fund the gambling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like money's how we buy our drug. So it's like, but the thing is like you're instilling that kind of reward center thing. Like you're starting them young. You're like, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to play poker that builds up that reward center. And it's like, then they start kind of like, oh, well, I learned how to play poker when I was a young girl. I think I could maybe go do it and make some money, because I've learned this skill. They may not even be connecting to it. Like how I might be missing the whole thing of how the strategy of poker would translate to the strategy of corporate America. Like maybe because maybe I don't have the IQ for that. But for me, it's just anytime you're utilizing something that has potential harm linked to it, like you're part of the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I
left you speechless. You're like, what?
We got to get these dames on board with poker so they can understand what a man is like. It just seems silly. It just seems silly.
The whole thing is just preposterous. And then when you take in the potential harm that they're creating when they're thinking they're creating something that's valuable, it's jaw dropping. You're just like, come on. And I don't want to be. I think you and I both don't want to be those Ken and Karens. I think the male version is Ken, or Kevin. It's Kevin and Karen. Where we're like, well, they shouldn't say this and they shouldn't do this and they shouldn't do that. It's not about
well,
I
mean, to be fair, a stupid article is a stupid article,
right?
Regardless of what we think.
Right, exactly.
I don't feel like a Kevin or a Karen talking about gambling addiction. There's no one. So the way it all works is there is a national council on problem gambling, and there are several state councils on problem gambling. And each and every one will tell you that they are neutral on gambling. They will not take a stance on gambling. I think we will both happily take a stance that says, yeah, if you want to gamble, go gamble. We don't give a shit. Go gamble, have fun. It was great. I loved it. It was so much fun. Unfortunately, I can't do it. And that's where Christina and I get into the other people can't do it either. And it's the constant pushing of the gambling by the industry where I am not neutral. I'm like, fuck the industry because they push it constantly. And you and I both get emails. You have the Broke Girl Society Facebook page. You hear the harm on a daily basis. I hear the harm on a daily basis. And this wasn't happening 4 months ago. My emails are like, I'm getting more and more of just people being like, yeah, this sucks and that sucks. And I have a gambling addiction and here's what I did. And it just shows you that the fact that we have legalized it in all these states, sports betting and online gambling is causing harm. And that's where I'm not neutral. I'm like, no, this is stupid. At least make people drive to a casino. At least make somebody have to have gas money to go gamble.
Yeah.
Because when you sit at home on your phone, you don't need gas money. There is no friction to stop you from gambling. You can just gamble away every dollar you have sitting on your phone, and you will do it. And you know who you are. You will do it until it is gone. And we all did it until it was gone.
Yeah.
And I'm not neutral on the fact that I think the gambling industry is a big fat doo-doo head. I mean, it's just through my work as in the podcast and as a peer during the day, like you see the harm on a daily basis. And online gambling has created a much bigger problem than casino gambling.
Oh, for sure.
Because you don't have to go anywhere to do it. You can press one button to deposit money. And then when you lose all your money, they will send you a bonus offer. And you take up that offer because they're hoping that you will then use their $200 in free credits and go beyond that and dip into your own pocket. That is the point of those things, is to get you to dip into your own pocket. It's not because they're being generous. It's because they want you to dip into your own pocket. And that's the stuff that just worries me and nobody seems to care about. The bonus offers are getting people sucked in. The bonus offers keep people from getting help because they're like, well, I got $200 in free credits. I'd kind of like to do that. And then if I lose that, then I'll go get help.
And then it starts to cycle all over again. And I just remember, all the free stuff you get, right? It's like, well, I got an air fryer this month. And it's like, but what did that air fryer
most
cost
expensive
you?
air fryer anyone's ever purchased.
Yeah, you can buy an air fryer at Walmart for $60, but did you know what I mean?
Yours
and
cost you $850.
Exactly. And it's just like, but I remember being stuck in that mentality of like, well, it's free. And it's like, it takes you getting to the other side of it, be like, nothing was free and it cost me so much. It's like that relationship where all they do is take. They don't ever give back. And, just think of gambling as your narcissistic boyfriend.
Or girlfriend.
Or girlfriend or partner. Yeah. Mother, like father, whatever. Just think of it as like the all-in narcissist that's just takes and takes and takes and then love bombs you and then like gaslights you and manipulates you. Like, not to like go down this hard road, but sometimes looking at it as more of a relationship that's not working out can kind of start you in that thinking mode of like, yeah, I didn't put up with this with what's this person. Why am I doing this with gambling? I don't know where that came from, but
because gambling,
I feel like it should be quoted. Yeah, it does. It does.
That's why I enjoy doing this. We've been away. We're doing a quick episode tonight just to remind everybody that we exist and that we're not dead. But
that we're still friends.
Yes.
Kind of because there's a lot of new podcasts out there. So it'd be great to pull people on and talk about their podcast.
I think so too. And if you are looking for a gambling addiction podcast, we each host one. But if you hate us and you just want others, then just stick gambling addiction podcast into Google. You'll find like 20 of them. Find somebody who fits your voice and listen to those, because that is the thing, is like lived experience stories are what teaches the lessons that hopefully people who haven't been harmed by gambling will learn. And,
absolutely.
I just urge everybody to be careful. And if you know that you can't gamble and you're struggling, then don't gamble. And Go get help.
Talk about
Call
it with somebody.
call the help. Yes. If you can't afford therapy, talk about it with a friend. If you can't afford therapy, there are specific clinicians who talk about gambling addiction. And so I would urge you all to find the helpline in your state. If you can't find the helpline in your state, then call 1-800-GAMBLER and they will get you to where you need to be to start the process of recovery. And there's always Gamblers Anonymous. Gamblers Anonymous, great organization. So just go to their website, look up your state and see where there's meetings. And if nothing else, you can email us at the email on this thing and we'll guide you to where you need to get to.
We'll help you any way we can. Let's just go ahead and put up gamblersinrecovery.com. They have meetings all over the world 24/7. Also Recovery Road Online. They have meetings every couple of hours, I think, throughout most of the day, like 2:30 a.m. or something. Those are great resources if you're really struggling and you want to jump on a meeting. There's usually something happening, at any time.
And if you are like, hey, I mildly enjoy you guys, I'll come on and tell my story. To just shoot us an email at, is it thebetfreelife@gmail.com? It's been so long.
thebetfreelife@gmail.com.
thebetfreelife@gmail.com. Yeah, you can email us, you'll get us, and we'll respond to you. And, eventually we'll get you on and you can share your story. And if you want to leave your camera off, you can leave your camera off. But why would you want to hide your smiling face? Well, Christina, it was lovely to see you.
Always lovely to see you.
I look forward to more of these. Have a wonderful evening. Everybody, stay strong. You can do this. We did it. You're not alone. Talking helps.
It absolutely does. Have a good night.